Cracking the code on clean label sugar reduction. Thank you for joining me for Cracking the Code on Clean Label Sugar Reduction. My hope is that at the end of this presentation, we hope to leave you with the tools to start reducing sugars while cleaning up your ingredient statements. Most of the people who play a computer game are unaware of the alchemy and effort that went into its creation. Between those thousands and thousands of lines of code, magic happens, says developer Rob Manuel. Sometimes the most amazing feats of gaming wizardry happen without you even noticing. The same can be said of food development. The layperson drinking a sweetened beverage or eating a frozen dessert has no idea of the complexity of the work of the R&D team. Creating the right flavoring combination for a food, beverage, or packaged product can require multiple attempts on the bench and in the pilot plant. This is especially true of a reduced sugar product. Consumers aren't necessarily willing to forgo a sweet taste, so food developers are challenged to deliver flavor, reduce calories, and provide comparable sensory attributes. Sucrose is the standard by which many of us are familiar. No other sweetener delivers exactly the same profile. Many high-intensity sweeteners leave a taste that lingers. Some have a bitter note. A growing share of shoppers finds artificial sweeteners and flavors unpalatable for other reasons, such as the perception that natural is better for you. Clean labeling is a consumer-driven trend that's expected to continue. Innova Market Insights sees movement towards transparency. They call the #1 trend for 2015 from clean to clear label. Because natural is not defined by governmental agencies, consumers, retailers, regulators, and industry are seeking more specific details. Buyers are scrutinizing labels for ingredients with names that they understand. Plus, consumers are paying a lot more attention to how much sugar is in their foods, a recent survey from Mintel Research Consultancy suggests. Many consumers are looking to eliminate ingredients that are sources of added sugar. This, coupled with proposed U.S. government mandate of added sugar labeling, makes clean label sugar reduction paramount to many food manufacturers. The challenge for developers working to maintain a sweetness level lies in the matrix of ingredients. Simply removing sugar and adding another sweetener doesn't work well because flavor is the sum of all the ingredients. The presence or absence of other ingredients can magnify or mute sweetener tendencies. When certain sweeteners are used in tandem, their value exceeds their solo contribution. Making the most use of synergies optimizes flavor while lowering the levels that each must be used, ultimately reducing cost. Sugar alcohols. Sugar alcohols are also called polyols. Many occur naturally in foods. Erythritol is present in fruits such as pears, melons, and grapes. Xylitol is found in birch. Sorbitol was first discovered in berries. With the exception of the presence of a hydroxyl group substituted for the aldehyde or ketone group, the structure of polyols is similar to sugar molecules. These compounds are linear in structure. As a group, they can be used to provide sweetness and calorie reduction. They are low digestible carbohydrates. Great differences exist between individual polyols, in part because of the variances in molecular weight. Sugar's molar mass is 342.2965 grams per mole. Maltitol and isomalt have a molecular weight of 344.3123 grams per mole. Their sweetness varies significantly. Maltitol is 90% as sweet as sucrose. Isomalt is 50% as sweet. Each contributes 2 calories per gram. Sorbitol and mannitol each have a molecular weight of 182.1717 grams per mole. They are isomers, and the only difference is the orientation of the hydroxyl group. Sorbitol and maltitol are about 60% as sweet as sucrose. FDA requires a laxation label claim when formulating with mannitol, 20 grams per day daily intake, and sorbitol, 50 grams per day daily intake. Mannitol provides 1.6 calories per gram. Sorbitol provides 2.6 calories per gram. Xylitol has a molecular weight of 152.1457 and is 100% as sweet as sucrose. Erythritol has the lowest molecular weight of all the polyols with a molar mass of 122.1198. Its weight plus its reduced sweetness, 70% as sweet as sugar, make it ideal for use as a bulking agent. Xylitol and erythritol are well tolerated by the digestive system. Both xylitol and erythritol exhibit negative heats of solution. Xylitol has a very pronounced cooling effect. Erythritol is mildly cooling. They are both non-carcinogenic. Their flavor is compatible with mint. Xylitol is often used in candies, breath fresheners, and gums. Xylitol contributes 2.4 calories per gram. Erythritol has just 0.2 calories per gram. Molecular weight also influences viscosity. Maltitol and isomalt will contribute more viscosity than the lower molecular weight polyols. Maltitol and xylitol are more soluble than erythritol, isomalt, and mannitol. Polyols do not contain the carbonyl group C=0, so they cannot participate in the Maillard reaction. Applications that require caramelization or non-enzymatic browning may require additional reducing sugars such as fructose, glucose, and invert sugars. Although polyols can be used singly, they are often used in conjunction with other sweeteners. Sweeteners from plants. When the target is natural, formulators have a variety of options, including agave syrup, honey, molasses, and fruit juices. But these are nutritive sweeteners, so substituting one for another will not automatically reduce calories. Just like sucrose, they contain 4 calories per gram. Monk fruit and stevia are the formulator's choice of natural, high-intensity sweetener. Both have 0 calories. The sweetener, derived from monk fruit, also known as Lohan Go, has a neutral flavor in most applications, although it may impart a slight melon rind note. Sweetness comes from a group of compounds called maugrosides within the fruit of the Syriza grosvenori plant. Chemically, maugrosides or triterpenoidal saponins. There are 500 numbered maugrosides, as well as other glycosides, and each has distinct sweetness characteristics. Maugroside 5 is predominant. Sweetness of individual maugrosides can vary up to 400 times the sweetness of sugar. The actual dried fruit has up to 1.5% extractable maugrosides. Maturity of the fruit impacts the maugroside content. Traditionally, Lohan Go sweeteners are about 200 times sweeter than sugar. Like stevia, the FDA recognizes monk fruit extract as GRAS. Stevia extracts are derived from the leaves of the South American plant Stevia rebaudiana. This high-intensity sweetener is 200 to 300 times sweeter than sugar. Like Lohan Go, sweetness comes from certain components within the plant. More than 10 different steviol glycosides are found within the stevia leaf. Rebaudioside A, Reb A, is best known. Steviol, stevioside, rebaudioside C, dulcoside A, ribososide, steviobioside, rebaudioside B, D, E, and F follow. Flavor of stevia products varies immensely because of the variations of concentrations and purity of these glycosides. Growing conditions, including soil, water, and weather, will determine the composition and strength of the plants. Finally, the means of extraction, natural water extraction, or petrochemical extraction impact the final taste. Even the cleanest extracts of stevia can have a licorice-like flavor. It can be perceived as slightly bitter. Yet, because it is so powerfully sweet, it is used at extremely low levels. A bulking agent, such as erythritol, is required to build body and mouthfeel, but it will also help ameliorate or mask any off note. Masking agents can also be helpful, especially in formulas that contain other bitter components. Optimizing the sweetening system. Combining sweeteners yields the most pleasant results. Flavors become melded, smooth, and fuller. Understanding the ways that each sweetener functions and the ways it interacts with other ingredients will shorten time to delivery of the idealized sweetening system for a beverage, confectionery, baked good, or other product. Custom sweetening solutions deliver exactly the right sweetness for the product they are designed for. Adding sugar to a formula in which up to 80% of the sweetness is provided by Reb A will exhibit a flavor similar to a 100% sugar-sweetened product. Calories are reduced substantially. If maximum calorie reduction is not the goal, consider adding fructose. This is the sweetest of all the naturally occurring nutritive sweeteners. Compared to sugar, it is 1.3 times as sweet. It has 4 calories per gram. Unlike sugar, it carries a low glycemic load, so it's safe for diabetics. A blend of fructose and stevia or agave syrup fortified with stevia will have a pleasing profile while reducing calories. Because fructose occurs naturally in fruits, it is a natural addition to any fruit-flavored food. It also enhances honey flavors, caramel flavors, and spice flavors. The presence of citric acid, tartaric acid, or lactic acid in the food system will improve the taste of stevia by cutting the lingering sweetness. Flavors like ginger, cola, and root beer diminish the licorice notes of stevia. A flavor such as grapefruit that has an inherent bitter quality will also have a masking effect. Inulin, or fructooligosaccharides, FOS, can also reduce aftertaste of high-intensity sweeteners. In a sugar-free beverage, the addition of low-level or xanthan gum, or FOS, will build mouthfeel, thereby giving it a profile more similar to a product sweetened with sugar syrup. Fructooligosaccharides add bulk with a healthful twist. These non-digestible fructose and glucose molecules are derived from chicory root. As a prebiotic, fructooligosaccharides support the growth of healthy microflora in the gut. With 70% the sweetness of sugar, the caloric contribution is just 1 calorie per gram. In food products, the fat mimetic qualities of FOS improve texture and mouthfeel. Its flavor is slightly sweet and neutral. Synergies with other sweeteners improve flavor and cost efficiency. Besides flavor, the choice of sweetener and/or combination of sweeteners is dependent on their functional contributions. Erythritol, because of its low molecular weight, lowers water activity and thus extends shelf life of baked goods. Cookies will maintain crispness. Soft goods like brownies will not harden. Moisture levels may need to be increased in some formulas. Sugar provides humectancy to baked goods. Xylitol also functions effectively as a humectant. Stevia alone is incapable of this. A golden color is often important in bread or rolls. Because they do not participate in the Maillard reaction, erythritol and/or stevia will not be of help. Fructose, non-fat dry milk, or small levels of browning sugars such as molasses will be needed. Freezing point depression is an important consideration in frozen foods. In ice cream, texture, palatability, and scoopability are dependent on the dynamics between ice and water. Larger molecular weight, carbohydrates, are more effective in influencing water behavior. Lower molecular weight sweeteners, such as xylitol, depress the freezing points lower than sugar, so they are best used in combination with higher molecular weight ingredients. Confections are at the opposite end of the temperature spectrum. Boiling point is the critical juncture that governs texture. As molecular weight decreases, the boiling point increases. Every application has its own requirements, so understanding the nuances of sweeteners, alone or in tandem, must be undertaken in the context of the finished product. A sweetening expert will bring in-depth ingredient knowledge and application expertise to your project. Development time is shortened. Greater cost savings are realized when synergies between sweeteners and other ingredients are capitalized upon. In addition to achieving a more pronounced or rounded sweetening profile, it is often possible to reduce the use of higher cost ingredients such as flavors. Partnering with a sweetener expert will not only maximize formulation efficiency, it will help you crack the code on clean label sugar reduction. Thank you for joining me for cracking the code on clean label sugar reduction. We hope we have left you with the tools to start reducing sugars while cleaning up your ingredient statements. Feel free to reach out to us at any time if you ever have questions about clean label sugar reduction. We are here as your resource for sweeteners.